What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua pays homage and respect to the fighters of yesteryear, including Lennox Lewis and Larry Holmes. He said this. He said, if you want to be great, you should do what the greats did in the past. Anthony Joshua pays homage to boxing heroes Lennox Lewis and Larry Holmes after victory over Andy Ruiz. Okay. And Anthony Joshua says he is still learning from the legends of the sport after winning his rematch with Andy Ruiz. Okay. He also said this to say, he says, if you want to be great in today's generation, you should do what the fighters did in the past. Of course, you can't be one-dimensional in professional boxing. It's good to have a game plan and absorb the information given to me by my coaches and execute what they expect from me. The main people you please in boxing before my parents, before anyone else's opinion, are my coaches, because they spend most of the time with me and they pour the knowledge into me. If they want me to box like Riddick Bowe, Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson, and Floyd Patterson, whatever they want from me, I can produce it because I'm a student. There's not just one dimension to me. I always bring something new to the table. I think I've shown I can box a lot of different styles. I've watched Lang against Duran, he said. I've watched comparisons of Riddick Bowe and Larry Holmes, comparisons of the jab. If you're a true boxing fan and you love boxing as much as I do, you look at the great teachers and they will tell you boxing is about hitting and not being hit. Those are the words of Anthony Joshua. And, I'm impressed and I'm surprised simply because we know the ongoing beef, or the beef and the statements that was said from Anthony Joshua. And we heard what Lennox Lewis has said about Anthony's career decisions, and who he feels that he should have fought, or this and that, the other. And of course, you would think that Anthony Joshua would be bitter about something Lennox Lewis said. Maybe he is and maybe he's not. However, the beef has nothing to do with Lennox Lewis's fighting ability and him giving Lennox Lewis props. As he said before, he said Lennox Lewis is a beast, okay? And it's good, despite the beef, he is included in the names that Anthony Joshua used as an example. Larry Holmes, Lennox Lewis, Riddick Bowe, Mike Tyson. Lennox Lewis is right there besides the beef. Normally, a person that was biased due to beef or due to some type of misunderstanding, so to speak, you would think that would be the first person that he would omit from his list of the fighters of yesteryear, the fighters that know how to box, and it is a surprise, and it is a surprising, refreshing thought to know that Anthony Joshua, despite what he feels personally about Lennox Lewis, he knows that man can bang. He knows what he had to implement, what he had to duplicate, or his trainers knew what type of style he needed to fight and to defeat Andy Ruiz. And a lot of that textbook, a lot of people used Vladimir Klitschko. I looked at it more of Lennox Lewis versus David Tua, if anything. A lot of the subscribers, the friends of the channel, have done the same thing, because that's exactly what it looked like. You had a cautious, focused, disciplined person in the ring when he outboxed Andy Ruiz. He did, and it was tempting to get in the ring and exchange punches, but ironically, he's seen that wasn't the way to go, because that's when Andy Ruiz was able to small and shortly implement his game plan, for that short stint. But as soon as he went back to boxing, there was a no-no. That was a no-brainer. Anthony Joshua boxed him easy and did a good job. And I'm glad that he's able to mention guys like Larry Holmes, especially Lennox Lewis, due to the beef, okay? Because we do have people we look up to, and Anthony Joshua is respectful of his elders, and this is another example of him showing homage to Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, Mike Tyson, Riddick Bowe, because these guys knew how to hit and not get hit. And he is right. You can't be one-dimensional in there. This is, if you learned one thing about Anthony Joshua, he can mix it up. It might not have been the most exciting. It don't supposed to be the most exciting all the time. Neither was Parker and Joshua, but he knew he couldn't go in there and fight any kind of fight with Parker, but he knew who he was fighting. He was fighting another champ, the WBO champ at the time, Joseph Parker. Okay. So it wasn't like a fight that he didn't know or didn't expect or, he didn't plan for. He was planning for that type of fight. That's why he was able to go 12 rounds. Okay. And the size was on him. He was still heavy, but he was able to move in this because he knows Andy Ruiz is a guy that throws a bunch of punches. And of course, and according to the words around the campfire, Andy Ruiz was supposed to come in hella light and ready to throw punches like Manny Pacquiao or Marco Antonio Barrera or somebody like that. But it didn't happen the way it was, fortunately for Team Joshua, but it did not stop the game plan and for them implementing the game plan. So it was good. And again, I am impressed from Anthony Joshua. And speaking of Lennox Lewis, again, in a positive setting, it just makes me wonder now. Counterpunch and know what we know was, did he hear about Lennox Lewis defending him first for him to say that? We just got to look at the dates. This date here was from December 14th. Okay. Well, the day is the 14th. No, this was on December 9th. And I think Lennox Lewis said what he said after the fact. You know what I mean? I don't know if one hand washed the other. You know what I mean? I would like to know that. But it did not stop these two men, despite their differences, from giving each other props and respect on what they do inside the ring. That's what's most important. The beef is just a mere second or third to what goes on actually in the ring. And Anthony Joshua is starting to learn that you can't knock everybody out. It's not going to happen. You're not going to go in there and knock anybody out. That shouldn't even be the game plan anyway. If that presents itself, maybe you should. But if you're going in there thinking that I'm going to run through a fighter, you're going to end up just like he was June 1st. Okay? Counterpunch. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, it's good that he's learning. It's good that he's adjusting. It's good that he's trying new styles. It's good that his trainers have instructed him to do and to follow new styles, because one style won't fit all with certain fighters. That's one thing we learned about 2019 with Anthony Joshua. He's not going to mow down everybody. Counterpunch. You guys tell me what you think about Anthony Joshua paying homage to Lennox Lewis, Larry Holmes, Riddick Bowe, and Mike Tyson. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.